Hello, fabulous Aquarius. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of February 2014, Love Focus. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. This month is a big month for love, and last month I would have advised you to focus on yourself, that's where most of your attention needed to be, because this month is when some really big activities are going to be happening around love. And really what takes place now is going to carry you forward for the next 6 months at least, if not for the rest of the year. The developments are that significant. In the middle of the month, we have a full moon in your opposite sign. Now, full moons in your opposite sign always represent lessons in love. They always represent changes, and they represent acknowledging a truth, if you will, about where you are in love, and an honest evaluation of where you are and if you like it or not, how you got there, and what possibly you could do to change your circumstances as well. What is interesting about this particular full moon is that it is speaking with Saturn, and it's speaking in a conversation that is about really being honest with yourself, really being presented with a truth. And some of you are going to deal with this easier than others. I just have to say that. I have to put it out there. With love, I think that there's always an element of love that has to do with hope, right? And we have to be able to see this person more idealistically than not. We have to be able to have hope and have, as they say, rose-colored glasses in order to even allow us the actual bravery that is required to connect with another person, to share with another person deeply. And what I'm seeing for you is, while that hope has been there, now comes a moment when some truth comes in, and an infusion of an honest, whether it's a conversation, but more than that, what I'm seeing is you having an exchange with somebody that either you're in an established bond with or have hoped to be, that sort of tells you where things are in a way that maybe you hadn't anticipated. And this doesn't necessarily have anything to do with how they feel. Their feelings may be just as strong, maybe just as genuine, but more likely it has to do with their circumstances, some aspect of their past especially. And as you are presented with this information, it's going to be up to you to decide how you're going to react. How are you going to deal with it? What is it going to mean to you? And it's going to be up to you to decide if this is a game changer or not. Is this the type of truth that is going to leave you in a place where you just cannot continue with this partnership? And for some of you, that is going to be the decision. But it seems very much self-directed. It seems very much that you're looking at this person really honestly where you hadn't looked before. For some of you, it's going to be really like it was staring you in the face, but you hadn't acknowledged it before. And when you do this, you may actually decide that you would rather continue on and be open to seeing what else is out there for you. For others of you, though, I do think that there are some of you out there who are going to receive this with greater grace, who are going to receive this with an element of greater compassion as well, and are going to be invited to think about where the other person ends and you begin, where it is that this person is on their own journey, because ultimately that is the lesson here. This other person that you are allied with, or that you're even just attracted to, is on their own journey, learning their own lessons. And a part of what's been called spiritual partnerships, I'm thinking of Gary Zukav talks about spiritual partnerships. A part of spiritual partnership is recognizing that this other person is on their own journey with their own lessons and their own learning, and it is a privilege to be able to intersect at key moments and to be part of each other's growth. But ultimately, the responsibility lies on the self to learn what it is that the self needs to learn. And that's going to be part of the learning for you here as well. And so if you can really come from that enlightened place, if you decide, okay, this is a truth that doesn't really have to affect me so much, I can really be okay with this. This has to do with this person and their past, not who they are with me right now. If you can do that, and for some of you that will be a reasonable choice, for some of you it might not be. For some of you it might be, you know what, thank you very much for the experience, but I'm ready to go in this direction, and that's fine too. But if you should choose to accept that, then a part of the learning is going to be able to listen and have compassion and be present for this person while not taking their lessons and their journey personally, not automatically thinking, how does this going to affect me? What does this have to do with me? How is this going to change things for me? But try to the best of your ability, be there for the other. So let me break this down a little bit. If you are in an established bond, and it's one that you're committed to, as I said, it's very likely that a new element of this person is likely to present itself, and there's going to need to be sort of a very honest conversation about, okay, why didn't this come out sooner? How you can actually deal with it, how you actually are going to move forward, and some negotiation that allows you to feel a sense that you are more strongly committed to this than you realized. And I think a lot of people who are already in established bonds are going to feel that. They're going to feel that they're actually much more committed than they previously had realized. Those of you who have, as I said, are interacting with somebody new, you hope that it could go somewhere. Now is the time when you're really going to get a moment of honesty. And that in turn is going to lead you to have a more honest evaluation of who this person is and what you want in terms of what direction you want this to go in. And it's really going to be up to you to decide if you're going to continue this or not. But it does look like some things just need to come up for you to consider and for you to learn your lessons and learn to honor the other person as they have their own journey. And can you be present with them in that? And where you can't, it really is okay. For those of you who are learning this lesson in the context of being open to love, in the context of an attraction, full moon in your opposite sign, always there is somebody there, in all honesty. It does represent another person presenting themselves. And when this person presents themselves, the lesson has to do with really honestly looking at where you are in love and how you got there, and if you like it or not. And it does look like an attraction ends up being, as I said, the reality can end up being a little bit different than your initial impression. And when this truth sort of comes out, and it doesn't look like it has to be some big fanfare type of thing, that this person is having a very serious conversation with you, but just there is this attraction, and then you realize, oh, okay, there's this whole other layer. Now, how do I want to proceed? And that's going to be up to you to decide as well. Ultimately, though, the higher lesson is always spiritual partnership. The higher lesson is always seeing yourself differently as reflected in the eyes of another. And I think you're going to find that you like what you see. You will like the truth that comes forward in terms of you understanding where you are right now in love. And I think you will like a recognition of your ability to make choices, because ultimately the choices will be largely yours. You will decide what direction it is that this bond is going to go in next. And you will decide how you will use your compassion. If you will use your compassion to bring you closer to this other person, which is a very, very strong possibility, and this could really be one of those make or break moments that solidify the bond really strongly than ever before, or not, or go the other way? Or are you going to use your compassion towards yourself? Are you going to use your compassion to really be honest with yourself about where maybe it isn't working, and now you're ready to be brave and go on a different journey of your own? Regardless of what you choose, you are moving towards greater love, as this month will make very clear to you. Thank you for watching. It'll be a great month. Be fabulous and enjoy.